Hey everyone, Nathaniel Gavronsky here. I'm actually in the Hart Senate office building. I've been meeting up with members of the Congress and the Senate Wednesday and Thursday, and today mostly with staffers. It's Friday. Most of the members of Congress are back in their home districts, as they should be. And so I'm kind of wrapping up this trip here, and I've been dealing with social issues, with Social Security, people who are on disabilities are not able to really make it, dealing with credit score issues where, people with a low credit score, not so much on like getting mortgages for houses, but like renting an apartment, getting insurance for a car, or even applying for jobs. So you could have all the skills you need, work experience for a job, but, not have a whole lot of disposable money, so you don't really have a good credit score, so that you can't get a better job because of it. You might want to move into a nicer area. You're working hard, but you're not really making a whole lot of money, or no, you don't do credit cards. You pay in cash to stay out of debt. You don't have very good credit, so you can't. They won't even allow you to rent. You could have first month's, last month's, and all deposit down for rent, and they won't rent to you because you have a low credit score. Insurance, for example, you could have a good driving record. You'd be quoted $68 a month for insurance. If on your credit you got like a 570, it goes to $269 or so. There's a reason why people with bad credit aren't able to buy houses. It's not because they can't get good credit because there are so many barriers, and that this Joe Biden bill to subsidize by making good credit score people pay for the low credit. This is disincentivize the good credit score people from buying houses, so they won't be able to subsidize the other ones anyways. It's a bad policy. But the credit scores being used for non-financial loans is also a really bad policy. Social Security, again, people who are living on SSI, they're not able to make it. There's no way. They're using 15 programs to try to fund their basic existence, and they can't get it. I've been having pretty good success with meeting with people, but I really got to make a comment here, and this is the reason I'm making this video. So I'm in the Hart, which is where a lot of the leadership is. One of the states that I reside in, New York. I'm a part-time Iowa, part-time New York guy. For the state of New York, I only have one senator. I have been for 4 years, four years trying to meet with Senator Schumer or his staff on this issue. I've been able to personally call Schumer and get him to answer once. But typically I try to keep it the way it's supposed to be done, like through the proper chain of command. Over 4 years, if you live in New York State and you try to call any one of Schumer's offices, you will never hear from them. Ever. I don't care what district office you call. You can't even physically go to them. They're closed. You can't physically talk to anyone. You call anyone. You get a voicemail that can't leave messages on. In D.C., now listen, I can walk into almost any congressional office and say I need to speak to a staffer on any issue. Any issue, I can get them. I can get their way to contact them. Look how thick that is. If I need to meet with any staffer on a specific issue, most people, here's the business card, write them directly, we'll start a conversation. That's both the Senate and the House. You go to Schumer's office, they can't give you any information. They can't tell you what staffer works on it. For example, I happen to know that Kai in Schumer's office is the person who I'm supposed to be talking to about this stuff. I email them. I email him. I never hear back, ever. Like, not ever. The one time I did hear back, I said, I'm leaving the office today, I'm sick. Yeah, told, hey, come into the office at 10. And then I get there, like, he had to leave sick. And that was the only email I got from him, he said he was sick. If you're from New York, you only have one senator. Constitutionally, you're supposed to have two from every state. And I don't care that he's leadership. I don't care. If you live in New York, you deserve 2 U.S. senators. You only get one. Kirsten Gillibrand, she does a really good job. Her staff's actually one of the best in the entirety of the Senate, actually. And it's still a little bit difficult to get some responses in on things, and I've been working on it. But I mean, at least I can meet with one of their staffers. But in leadership, if your senator is in leadership, you would think, hey, this bill's important. I got Republican support on this, and I'm a Democratic leader, and I have Republican support for this. Wouldn't you want to meet on that issue? But I just left the Schumer office, and he's on the 3rd floor. And the worker there, the intern, he's an intern or he's an but anyway, he's originally from Tennessee. Very nice guy. I give major props. He's very understanding, and he's talked to me about it. He feels bad. I'm putting him in a bad spot because he can't do anything. He can't give me a contact. He can't put me on a schedule. And listen, I've been emailing the DC underscore scheduler, and he also has an in-state schedule. You email them. Try to email. He'll never respond. You will never get a response. Ever. And I mean ever. 4 years. 4 years of attempting to get a meeting with Schumer, with Chuck Schumer, U.S. Senator from New York, the Democratic leader in the Senate. Trying to get a meeting with him on issues involving Social Security and being able to survive on disability. That's in the subject reading of the emails. He knows me. We've talked. I can't get a meeting with him. I want everyone to know that. I want everyone. I want every senator, Republican, Democrat. I want every member of the House, Republican, Democrat. I want all your staff. I want every constituent. I want everyone to know that the state of New York only has one U.S. senator, and it's Kirsten Gillibrand. And Chuck Schumer, I don't know what we pay him for. I mean, his speeches are mostly about what Tucker Carlson does in his spare time. I want to talk to him about what it's like to live full time when you live on like Social Security, where you make under $25,000 a year, but for the housing lottery you have to make $25,000, or you don't qualify for housing assistance in New York State, in the city of New York. The housing you can get, you don't have any hot water, let alone running water. So this is something that Schumer should care about. As a U.S. Senator representing the state of New York, he's absolutely failed. This isn't a partisan video. This isn't. In fact, I get along great with Republicans and Democrats from almost every single state. Every state. I meet with them both. I talk to them both all the time. Chuck Schumer is the worst, by far, in the entirety of the history of the U.S. Senate. He is the worst example of what a U.S. Senator or a public servant is. And that's really hard to say because the times I've talked to him in passing, he's been pleasant to me. He's been nice. I haven't always been able to have a long conversation with him. He's always running around. He's always too busy. But South Brooklyn, man. South Brooklyn. And I'm trying to reach out to you about a constituent issue. It affects hundreds of thousands of people within the state of New York, in the city, upstate, Finger Lakes, Jamestown, Orleans, Shirley, Montauk, Lake George, name it. It affects all of us. And we can't get hold of you. There's no one home. You should be ashamed of yourself.